Hello, my name is Sam Ederle. This is Common Enemy. Welcome back. Obviously, my scenery has changed a bit. My wardrobe has become more casual, and I really don't think anyone cares. Today's common enemy is information echo chambers. If it doesn't sound like a very funny common enemy, that's because it's not. I'll try to pepper in some jokes because I'm a child and being serious for too long makes me sweat, but it'll be more of a deep dive into modern social interaction. If you're in the mood for something a little more lighthearted, our last episode included cute dogs and a conversation about farts, so feel free to hop over there. Sidebar. The information age is creating information echo chambers for each little group of thinkers to sit comfortably and marinate in their own self-validation. Let's start on the fringe with conspiracy theorists. So, social media and chat forums have allowed for crazy people in our society to band together with other crazy people in our society and legitimize their misguided thoughts in a self-verifying bubble. Let's say, for example, someone believes that, Mark Wahlberg isn't really a person, but instead he's a magnificent oak tree that is so old it has discovered a secret allowing him to shapeshift into Mark Wahlberg, this character. So this person creates a Facebook page called Mark Wahlberg is an Oak Tree. Using search engine optimization, they make sure that everybody who likes the pages food is a corporate ploy, light bulbs are magic, and Oprah is CGI also see the page Mark Wahlberg is an Oak Tree. Before you know it, 100,000 people like the page. 100,000. That seems like a lot of people, right? Especially to anyone over 40 who just grew up in a smaller world than we have now. But there are 1 billion people on Facebook, so 100,000 people is really only 0.01% of the Facebook population, or 1 out of every 10,000. The average US town is roughly 20,000 people, so I guess the question is, if 2 people in the average town of 20,000 people were walking down the street saying Mark Wahlberg is an oak tree, would that conspiracy have any legitimacy? No. But when those 2 people from every town can connect on Facebook to create a group of 100,000 people, it suddenly seems like a well-supported theory. They've created a Mark Wahlberg is an oak tree echo chamber with a seemingly large amount of support. Okay, it's fun talking about the crazy conspiracy theorists, which I'm pretty sure are not big fans of Common Enemy and probably are not watching this right now. But it's time to talk about you. And you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and me. Or I guess I could just say you, and you, and you, and you. Because you're all watching me from the same vantage point, so it wouldn't really make sense to be pointing all around. Anyways, we're going to talk about all of us, because those information echo chambers I mentioned, you and I have them too. Whatever news sources, Twitter handles, Instagram feeds, or podcasts we follow are carefully constructed to cater to, validate, and reinforce whatever thoughts and opinions we already have. News is no longer information, it is content that is carefully crafted to whatever tribal bubble it is catering to and slowly convinces them more and more that they are right. When a new bubble pops up that leans farther left, right, up, or down, a new news source pops up with new Twitter handles, Instagram handles, and podcasts to go along with it. What's scary is that this single lane of information is making people unbelievably binary to the point that they think you are either with them or against them. If you're against them or even challenge them, then they shut you down and refuse to engage in a conversation because who cares? They've got 5 million people online and on TV dedicated to reinforcing their exact beliefs. Why would they even waste their time with someone that slightly differs from their opinion? Sidebar. Okay, without a doubt, most of you are watching this right now saying, well, I already know that, Sam. Why don't you tell the other people they're the assholes? And if you're saying that right now, then I am mostly talking to you. Because your special bubble has convinced you that you are not at fault for anything and there are no more improvements for you to make. But how do you know that you haven't fallen into a mob mentality of your own making? Really ask yourself that. Because things like the Milgram and Stanford prison experiments have shown that even the most normal-seeming people can be blinded by a mob mentality. In fact, psychology and history have shown that only about 25% of people have the ability to think independently of whatever mob they are associated with. There's, 500-ish people watching each of these videos I'm making. Are 375 of you admitting to yourselves right now that it's possible you might not be as open-minded and independent as you think? Am I as open-minded and independent as I think? Probably not. But knowing this, can we ask ourselves these questions? Can we say, am I too caught up in everything to see reason? Can I think for myself right now, or do I dismiss everything that doesn't fit my narrative? Psychology suggests that most of us cannot even begin the process of asking ourselves those questions. Okay, here's where the whole thing comes to a head. An alternate opinion is no longer an alternate opinion. It is an attack on me and my bubble that constantly remind each other how right we are. We are becoming binary operating systems that receive an input and can only process two outputs. You're either with me or against me. People are worried about computers becoming more like us, but I'm more worried about us becoming more like computers. Computers operate without emotion or empathy, making right or left turns on a binary track. Humans are beginning to judge the whole livelihood of other humans based on 1 or 2 data points out of the trillions of data points we have to offer. To bring everything to the present, I was sent this great Venn diagram about the current coronavirus pandemic. In short, it says that it is okay for a single person to be taking COVID-19 seriously, worried about expansion of authoritarian government policies, and very concerned about impending economic devastation. At some level, those concerns represent both sides of our current political spectrum. So maybe those concerns aren't political at all. Maybe they're just concerns that aren't meant to be combative or divisive, but are just meant to be concerns. I said it in episode 1, and I'll say it again. The common enemy is never the actual people. In this case, it is the information echo chambers that are manipulating the people. Thank you.